It's going live without
Business of property.
It's just on my page, I think.
It's someone else's random page.
Test, test, test.
Live on Facebook. Whose page is it on?
It's on mine. Hello, everyone. I'm here with Cheryl.
G'day. Hello. We're just going on to random pages.
Technical issues here that we're just trying to sort out. So Davina likes the video, so she's on nice and early. We're supposed to be in the property development page, but we've got onto my Facebook page. We've got to work out with Cheryl what's going on.
That will do. That will do. We're live somewhere. We're live somewhere in Facebook land. That's the main thing.
All right. Well, we'll see if we can tag the property development team in there. So hopefully they see the messages coming through.
Oh, I think someone might have to do maybe a watch party. I'm not sure if you can do that.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can do it from your from your Facebook over there.
Oh, wait. Let me get tricky. That's 1 second.
The best way to do it. So hello to everyone. For everyone joining on right now, just give us a wave or
that's sorry. I can see myself looking around.
What's going on and what is happening. I've got 6 people on already, Cheryl.
Hello.
So there's a bit of activity already. So let's start. We're talking about different things in terms of property investing, property buying. I'm just turning my sound down a little there and getting everyone on and making sure that we're Hayden has also come on. We've had Les come on and says hi to Luke and Cheryl. David's also come on, and Richard, Adam.
Hello.
People. We've got 11. We've got 11 already coming on and starting. This is property development space, search party property, property buyer's agent. It's all about property.
A lot of property crazy people out there, which is absolutely great. I love it.
Well, there's a few people I don't know on there, so it looks like maybe your tags are working. Ravi, Mark have come on. Hayden, just thinking about what is actually happening. Yes. On Cheryl's page, I'm talking about what's going on in the property space for me and maybe trying to help some of these developers that are out there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I reached out to you, Luke, and we're like, all right, I think we need to get you onto the business of property because we're all about property here and you're doing some cool stuff with property with your good old mate, Mark, in search party property. But we thought we'd talk about a little bit something controversial about actually profiting from a deal, even if you don't go ahead with a deal.
That's right. That's what we wanted to talk about today. There's a lot of people out there as developers, and I go to a lot of property development seminars and have done for some while. And I've got, mostly buy and hold properties in my portfolio, but there are some of those properties that actually have development potential. So thought in the way of what we do as a property buyer's agent, how developers can actually profit when the deals actually maybe don't stack up right now or might actually stack up in future in towards doing something a little bit different and, making a deal happen or making profit happen straight away, Cheryl.
Yeah. And how's that possible? What if you find a deal and it does, are you talking about deals that just don't work at the moment or not at all?
Well, no, probably not so much. I'd say at the moment. So there's, you can develop a whole range of properties. And in terms of what I've seen in the training that I've received previously from property developers that are doing training courses, they all talk about, yes, the property is developable, but is it profitable? And the amount of deals and feasibilities that developers need to go through to get towards that space is often very time consuming. You're often going through 100, 200, 300 deals plus before you find something that is profitable. I guess where we're coming from as property buyers agents, we've got clients that don't necessarily want to develop the property right now. There might be a scope for someone to say, okay, this deal looks really good and potentially has something going for it in the next maybe 2, 3, or 5 years. And there's a lot of people in the buy and hold type of situation where they're probably time poor that would like to do a deal and probably land bang something for the future. So there's a lot of options out there. We're creating a really good database around the buy and hold strategy in terms of property investing. And, we know a lot of developers out there that see the deals come across their desk. They don't want to do something right now. but it can actually be something done in future.
Yeah. So my question is for someone to, and would you coin that as a spotter's fee, a finder's fee?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the way we would go with something like that. Now we've only been speaking about this particular subject over the last probably week or so. So I haven't really come up with an idea about how that would work. But I guess in terms of, passing up deals as developers, rather than do that, even if you got a small amount for the ability to actually transact that property or actually get someone on that property, then it might be a benefit for you in future to actually make some money, at least some money out of the deal. So we'd have to probably work on a case-by-case situation. And then we need to work with the clients on the type of deal it is, how much information you as a developer provide to actually get the deal done. So, as a property buyer's agent, we're charging a $10,000 fee for our service on a buy and hold strategy. But as a development, if you start to go up a $3 or $5 million development, then we'll probably do some special deals with higher rates for clients to buy those type of properties, and then that might allow us to charge a higher fee and then pay a higher fee as a spotter's fee for developers. Yeah. So I would suggest it'd probably be a case-by-case situation that we would probably work this in. And it is about, for us, trying to promote some of these deals that are out there to actually make things happen for both the developer or the spotter looking for that deal, and also the client sitting there at their desk running through realestate.com as they probably do themselves, or they can actually go to some of the deals that we've got, through the emails that we send out and promote on social media and on an email database, and actually see some of these deals, get them in place, and get the deal done quickly, rather than sift through hordes and hordes of deals without a feasibility being done. So obviously, if you're doing the due diligence yourself, there's probably going to be more of a spotter's fee for you on these deals.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me, what is essentially the difference between a spotter and a buyer's agent?
Well, I guess that there's, in terms of bringing a deal to someone, that's where the spotter would come in. Working with a client in terms of what we do as a property buyer's agent. So there's the strategy, the planning type of situation. Obviously getting the client in. And I think a lot of the things that we do in property are around the client or the money in the deal. This is where we often get stuck, and what I've seen in terms of getting deals actually across the line. So I think it's a big one, is actually getting the client or the money available to actually get a deal done. There's deals everywhere.
Yeah.
Right, Cheryl, you'll see, people are doing 200-300 feasibilities at any given time. And then you may be able to enlighten us on that side of things. But from what experience I've seen at some of these seminars and talking to a lot of developers on a regular basis, that's the ideas that I'm receiving from the market. And that's why we go, is getting the client and getting the money into the deal is probably what the crucial part is.
Yeah. Okay. So say for someone out there who wants to get into development, sorry, my computer's flying around. Who is this ideal for? Is it sort of the part-time developer who's looking for something, or is it someone that's sort of going, I want to get into development, but I'm just sort of learning, and I think I found deals. I don't have the money, the resources, but I can pass it on to someone. Who's the spotter you're talking about?
I guess like what I was saying earlier, having a lot of information on the deal is going to be more beneficial for a client, to get a client across the line on a $800,000 deal, a 1.5 or a $3 million deal. We need to give them enough information to make these deals happen. So, someone just starting out, like you said, they can potentially have something done if it's a unique deal and they have a lot of information and they know, they're starting to learn what they do. Potentially that, we could see value in that. We'd have to do a few checks ourselves to see if it stacks up. And, there's going to be development deals in regional Australia and rural areas. And, there's all sorts of things that are going on. We just need to promote something that's going to be attractive for the buyers out there. So what is attractive for someone to actually land bank something in future and then, go and revisit that in 2, 3, 5 years time.
So is this something that you're sort of saying, hey, people out there, developers or spotters, people who are interested, reach out to your friendly buyer's agent? Is this something that you guys are doing specifically, or think that, hey, for the other buyer's agents out there?
Well, I guess if other buyers agents are not doing it, well, then, it's going to be more and more out there. From our point of view, and it's something that we've started to really think about in the last month or so, is how do we get more deals out there to the buyers that are in the marketplace? We want to be getting deals out there on a constant basis. We want everybody to have availability on the deals. Now, realestate.com has a listing of every property, whether they be, but they're only the ones that are on market, remember. A lot of you guys that are out there as developers, you're getting these deals directly from those, the owners of those properties, or there might be off-market deals through real estate agents. So if you can't do those deals right now, it makes sense to maybe shift them onto a buyer, get a small fee for it, and then actually, get the experience out of that, getting some money while you go along on this journey. So, it could be an avenue. We, like I said, it's just something that has only come about in the last couple of weeks, and we chatted about it just recently, Cheryl, and thought about the idea of doing something like this and really promoting it out in the marketplace, because there's people going through deals and deals and deals, and it might be really close to the line in terms of the feasibility on it. And you might find that if we move that over to someone who is, a developer themselves down the line, and we're able to promote it and they see something in, they might then be able to develop that or have the resources themselves to get cheaper labor costs and things like that to actually happen. And they might be a builder themselves. So it might go out to the marketplace where it actually has a lot of advantage for someone to take up this deal and still pay us a fee and give the spotter a fee for that as well.
Yeah, so you basically, we're leveraging an army of spotters, really, little spies.
And I talked about it. I talk about it on Facebook Live, and I did this afternoon on the video that I do each day is about building wealth together, right? Yeah. So, you can start off by, going through deals as a developer, and you look at each deal and it doesn't stack up, or it's not quite on the line, or it's probably a little bit too much risk. And then you think, well, okay, I'm going to move that to a side and I don't want to take on that risk. But it might give you a little bit of experience, I feel, anyway, to pass on that deal to someone else, see it actually eventuate into a deal, and then it gives you more experience and more knowledge that where you're looking is in the right path, especially for those people that are getting started. It's a huge one for these people to see a transaction actually work out for someone. Then you gain the confidence. Like, we talk about mindset all the time, and I know you do, Cheryl, as well. Is the whole thing about seeing deals getting done, then has the confidence of like, I can do this now, I can do it. So it's a good training, almost like a training course, or like on-the-job training, I feel, for some developers that are out there. So it's something that I wanted to put out there for people to say, if you got deals, if they look that they're close to the line and you may be taking too much risk, and they're probably they're going to be those ones that are probably closer to the line, right? So they're attractive enough for someone to land bank, and the land bank's not going to be 10 or 15 years. It's more likely to going to be maybe a 5-year journey for someone, and people are more, probably a little bit more happy. And you might have some, feedback on this, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, Cheryl, as well. More happy with a, maybe a 3 to 5 year journey rather than a 10 or 15-year journey.
Absolutely. I'm interested, we've got an audience here at the moment. Who here is interested in being a spotter or has been a spotter before? I'd be keen to see, because back in the day, what do they call bird dogs? Is that what bird dog? I don't know where the term comes from.
What was that? Sorry.
Bird dogging.
Bird dogging. Okay.
Bird dogging.
I'm learning something every day.
I'm pretty sure that was the term for spotter, but effectively, someone that wasn't necessarily selling or formally buying for someone, but had found a deal. So I'm keen to see. I mean, there are people out there, and we see them, many days, someone says, "Oh, I've come across this deal." But is there a need for these spotters to be licensed in any way?
They probably act as a consultant, so probably no, because we're going to need to review that and under our license.
Yes.
So I don't think that is a case of having, people having a full license to be able to do that. Then it's our responsibility as a property buyer's agent to provide all the information, check over all the information that you're seeing, and then provide then our own due diligence based on that. So we'll work within our team to actually make sure that all the information that you provide does actually stack up for a buyer. And then on these development deals, we've got to remember that it is up to the buyers to do their own due diligence, especially on development deals. So, there'll be a whole bunch of disclaimers around that for us going towards clients. We're not the experts in terms of doing developments, so we need to remember that for clients. And really, more so the actual fact of having that sort of land bank situation rather than it's profitable right now. It's kind of, even if you think about the renovation flip type of thing, it's like the development side is a larger aspect of that, right? So a renovation is flip, this is the price when you sell, you're going to put 20, 30K into the renovation and you're going to profit by 50, 80K, once you're done. So, that then comes with a lot of risk, and then it's up to a client to then do that own due diligence with the information that we provide to actually get across the line. I think it's another level higher, Cheryl, in terms of development, especially when we're thinking about this is a potential land bank in 3 to 5 years approximately. It could be something that you might be holding on for 10 years. And, it's a long journey on that. Yeah.
And what would you expect? And give me a moment. I'm getting eaten, so I'm going to move in. I thought I'd get some fresh air. So excuse me while I
these Facebook Lives with Tony Meredith. He's out
move around
in the gardens and the parks, and he gets eaten by ants and mosquitoes. But apparently Adam, who is an Australian guy that often lives in the US, has said yes, bird dogs exist.
That's it. So, see, I told you it's not. I haven't just made it up. Yeah, bird dogs do exist. I don't know where the name has come from. There we go. That's
bird dogs are like pointers for hunters. So, we're property hunters, right?
Oh, okay. So the dogs that hunt for birds, is that where the term comes from? Oh, right. Okay.
The bird dogs hunt for the bird dogs are like pointers for hunters.
Pointer dogs.
Bird dogs. Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm learning all this stuff.
Who wants to be a bird dog? I wasn't.
Cheryl, you're looking even better in the light. How good's that?
Thank you. I was trying to get some fresh air, but this is much better. So yes, I mean, here's the thing. Then, what do we sort of expect from a spotter? If you're keen to be a spotter, what would be your advice, or what would you sort of expect from them? Because you're not really just wanting an address, are you? You're wanting at least a little bit of due diligence, a little bit of, a little bit of work.
As much due diligence as you can provide, because the ultimate thing is to try and get the deal across the lines with the buyer. That's our prerogative, right? If we can get a deal done, everyone gets paid, right? So we're in a situation where if you can find out, what kind of the kind of information you probably want to need is, about the deal, the story behind the deal. Is it coming from the owner? Is it coming from the real estate agent? Is it on market, off market? What are the pros and cons of this particular deal? Is there easements on the property? And then, what's the development potential right now? Feasibility on the property right now then would provide extra information around a buyer saying, yes, it's land bank, but the profitability is pretty close to the line. And if we can get that deal done, then we're in a situation where, they might pay even more for the ability to have that development deal come across the line. And I think on these ones, like I said, I was talking about our fee earlier, but I think on these ones, it's going to be a deal by deal case where we are promoting to people that we've got a development deal here. This is what it looks like. This is our fee on it. And it'll be a kind of a special type of deal, not as opposed to what we normally do with lower price properties and cash flow properties and our basic rental. So it's a different deal altogether.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think the fact that you're welcoming that is really good. And that's smart as well, because you're leveraging your people power, right? The people
Yeah.
that are out there looking already.
Yeah.
I think what would be helpful is probably even like a template to be able to say, hey, here's a
That's
checklist.
a good idea. I was actually just thinking about that right there and then. So
I'm all about checklists. Your property VA. This is a blatant shout out there that we're
well,
all
maybe
about
Cheryl, if you
checklists.
could create the template, you get a cut of that first deal that actually
There
happens. How
are
about
we.
that?
Are we wheeling and dealing on Facebook Live? Yeah, there.
That's the way I work. You just come up with ideas and you just
Yeah.
implement them and make them happen.
Yeah,
If
awesome.
it sticks to the wall, then it's going to work. You just got to make things happen. And
Yeah.
good people will do good things. And I think at the end of the day, people are worried about their card and things like that. But if you do one deal and it works out and you're dealing with really good deal, and people aren't going to, take the mickey out of other people for all the work they've done, and they're all about the abundance factor in it, well, then everyone will win down the track. So I know, think about working as an intern almost like this. You got on-the-job training as a developer, and you might be doing a training course right now, but you got on-the-job training doing these feasibilities, and if one of them cracks and one of them actually goes in towards doing a deal, how is that going to make you feel? You get a little bit of money on the way, and then it might step you up into doing your own deal next. You might not be with us on the second or third deal, and you might actually be able to do some deals yourself. Then you might you get so many deals come in because you actually have that really good aspect of implementing your training and actually working on deals and getting them done. That deal number 10 that comes across your desk that makes sense will then maybe go back to us because it doesn't make sense to you to do it. So it just could be so many things. I think if everyone thinks in the abundance mindset of sharing the love across, you may not make a lot of money out of the first deal, but deal number 5 that comes across that we do, then you might make a whole bunch more. So you can keep everything to yourself, or you can spread the love and then get so much down the track. We talk about karma all the time and things like that. So,
yeah, absolutely. And I here's sort of a bit of insight. That's how I started. I started off as a bird dogger. Is that a term?
The bird dog. You are the bird dog.
I'm the bird dog. I was going to say the dog. That just didn't sound right. But that was it, because I was looking at deals and I was putting them together, but I didn't really. I just went, I don't have the resources. These were 5-acre blocks, right? Yeah. And you could put 45 blocks on them, and I went, there's no way I'm going to do my first deals with 5 acres. And so I would recommend them to builders. I would recommend them to developers, and I'd get a small little fee. Then I went, okay, well, I'm learning. You're learning as this process. You talk about that, and the fact that to a certain extent I was able to practice and then decide, well, as I got better, I could be a buyer's agent for developers, and I started working for developers. That's sort of where my sort of craft grew. But that's a really good sort of starting point. And I think a lot of us have almost forgotten that. But like I said, I'm mindful
wheels,
of
right? Training wheels. And Cheryl, just to cut into what you're saying there, I think that if any property developers that are out there at the moment, follow a path that Cheryl has followed. She talks about herself as the bird dog, the hunter, finding these deals and not thinking that she can do this massive deal first go, and then relying on the experts to maybe see her through the deal, see actually the fruits of her labor transpire into an actual development, which is massive, and there's a lot of money involved, a lot of risk involved at the same time. But getting her training wheels on to actually then go and progress into something then further on down the track. So I imagine that's been a little bit of a path for you in the development.
It has been a huge journey. But like I said, it was practice, and for me, it was being able to reach out to planners, consultants, and everything, to be able to grab all that information from different sources and package it up. Like I said, it was sort of my training. but then it helped me see how deals came together
So what are you
without being.
seeing? What are you seeing from developers these days? Like, what are people talking to you about in terms of, is this a plausible idea to bring this all together? Does it
Yeah.
make sense? And I think we probably want to talk about, developers coming to buyers agents a little bit later about, how that works and the ins and outs of that. Just to remind myself to actually speak about that, because it's an important subject for a lot of developers that do come in touch with us. But from your point of view, Cheryl, in terms of the developers that are out there, are they looking to get the training wheels on? Are they looking just to jump in and make the quick cash? What's your thoughts and feelings on people you speak to?
I'm finding definitely, because property development has become such a big interest area. A lot of people are doing courses, obviously, they're training themselves. I'm finding that, which is great, that people are wanting to jump in straight away and start getting deals together for themselves. And that's fine. But that's because, in the courses, I guess that's what you're trained to do. You talk about how you're going to change your life, you're going to take action, and more often than not, it's how you're going to get your first deal. So the first thing's always, how am I going to get my first deal? As opposed to, okay, how do I practice my skill and refine it? Because I have to say, property development is not something that you just learn in the course overnight. Or in 3 months or 6 months. I talk about it with my husband about how it's been such a huge journey for me. It's like it's more than like any university course would have ever taught me. But you have to be in the trenches. You've got to get your hands dirty. But do the stuff that doesn't pay.
Yeah.
Look for sites with a developer. Intern. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people that have gone through, and you think about some of the successful people around the world that have gone through internships to work and be mentored by people that are in property development or other areas of business or whatever it might be. But, a year or 2 years just going through the process, learning so much, and then them being so successful down the track. And I guess, a lot of people aren't willing to do that, put in that hard work in the early days, because if you do, you hear all those successful stories later, but and then you look at those people and they're really successful, and it's like, well, they're killing it right now. But what hard work did they have to do when they started?
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
What were the shitty things they had to do before they got to where they?
You talk about getting your hands dirty. My business partner, Mark, who's up in Brisbane, he's out in the ground and has been looking for deals for our clients currently, but when he worked for other companies for the past 10 years. So, to find the deals that we're getting today is because of the work he did 10, 9, 8, 7 years ago.
Absolutely.
So this is what you've got to think about as what's your traineeship? Well, how long are you on your training wheels to get there? Yeah. And I think it's an important part that people need to realize. And if you actually can do something during that process and not just let deals go all the time, then maybe it might be good for not only the money wise. And I don't think it's, I always say it's never about the money, but, I guess it is for a lot of people. And, that is a byproduct of what you're doing, but it's more about getting that confidence, getting that abundance working with the team, actually seeing the action being taken, and then knowing that you're on that long journey of patience. You know me, I say the little acronym TAP, Team Action Patience, which a lot of their viewers probably have heard before.
Yeah, and it's patience is a big one. Resilience, patience and resilience. So, I mean, like I said, we talk about just doing the hard yards, and don't be afraid to work for someone. Like,
anyone can work for me for free, Cheryl, if they want to. No problem whatsoever with that.
I was just talking about it today about, hey, I think it'd be great to have an intern, but are people willing? And not forgetting, a lot of people that are getting into development tend to be, they might be working or whatever, but are they willing to say, hey, I'm keen to do an internship with a developer? And maybe, that's something there. You've got mentors and interns maybe we need a matchmaking service. Luke, what do you think?
Yeah, it could be. I've put it out to people before about this sort of thing, and I've put Facebook posts about it. I don't know if we're actually legally able to get interns as such.
Yes.
So maybe they can be mentees.
I think it's a mentees,
like
yes.
mentees or something like that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I don't know how the law works around that. I might have to go to employment relations or someone around HR to find out some of those integral things around how that works. But yeah, I think a lot of people it's like, where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money?
Yes.
Me at this age, I'd love to go to New York and be mentored by the great man Gary Vee. So I'd go over there for 2 years and get mentored by him and not get a wage. I think that would just be the greatest thing. So or just be within their team, and the knowledge that those people have, because I've spent a day in their office, is bloody incredible. And and it just I've still got 60 years ahead in my life. Like
yeah, you're gonna live to, with all this running, you're gonna live to 120.
Thanks. Hope so.
Is that saying you're 60? You're not 60. No. My math.
The 60 years was 100. So
100. Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
60 yet, Cheryl.
Yeah, see, you've got more than half your life, in front of you.
Just put 20 years on my life.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. We'll edit that out.
Okay.
I bird dogged myself, didn't I?
Absolutely.
So I like to hear our audience and their experiences. Like I said, if they've done spotting before, or if anyone's keen to, like I said, look at mentoring or internships, because the whole thing about getting experience is such a huge, I can't stress it enough, because the more exposure you get, the more networks you build, and the connections that you have in property development are what maketh the success.
Well, what did I do on my Facebook Live today? I was like, how are relationships?
You were singing.
The property. It's who you know, not what you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I just said, what was the other things? Being front of mind, be nice, but be persistent. And we also, what was the other point that I made? It'll come to mind in a moment, but it's just about building that rapport with people, and it's just so important. I can see people coming on my Facebook page now, Cheryl, but I don't know if you're seeing something different on the development page or comments.
I can't see. Wait, let me look on.
That's where you might be getting the developer comments. I'm probably just getting a whole bunch of people that I know coming on this Facebook Live.
So, yes, there are people talking. Sorry, I'm gonna.
Okay, so you probably better maybe read some of those questions and thoughts. And
no, I think this is yours. Hey, Luke, hope you're well. Find some gems every now and then, this is on your page from Darren, which I sometimes can't find a buyer for. Any pointers as to where I can offload them? There you go.
Well, that's me.
That's you.
That's what we're talking about. Now, I can't see them on my page coming through, so maybe they're on that.
I'll have to be your PA. Hi all. There are instances where multiple spotters bring forward. Are there instances where multiple spotters bring forward the same deal? From Malika. I'll answer this. I find typically because they're off market, they tend not to be spotted by the same by different spotters. Would that be pretty right to say?
I'd probably suggest so, but I guess there are situations where I've heard that, if developers going to put letters out there, some owners will see, multiple letters, and they'll try and, pitch one against another and things like that. So it can happen. I guess it's just, it'll be the connection that if multiple developers have a connection with us and bring us the same deal, well, it'll be a first come, first serve basis.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then going back to, maybe there might be a situation for that person to say, if you've only provided, very limited details, and someone else has come in with some gold that actually changes the whole spectrum of that development or gives a lot more information, then you might lose out on that deal, I guess. That's where it could be a situation. But I guess, a lot of the deals that do come through, Cheryl, for those people that are thinking about doing the whole spotters thing, is it's going to be closer to capital cities, especially the Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane markets, I would suggest. Maybe Adelaide to a certain extent, but Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane is probably the markets that most people, in terms of buyers, probably want a land bank sort of situations, be in land bank situations, and seeing what's actually happening, and obviously contact with councils and information from councils that's going to stack up in terms of someone confirming those details with council once you do provide that information.
Yeah. But is it only for land bank stuff, like deals? We're talking about any type.
Well, yeah, it could be. I was actually going to suggest that a little bit earlier. I just thought about that, so thanks for raising it. But it could be something that you have, an owner directly, and they're looking to offload a property, and you feel like, and doing some, quick realestate.com.au checks on, property sales, and if that one stacks up against something else, and we can see value in that, and it's a 40, 50 grand, 60 grand discount on that property, well, it might serve someone. And with the database that we have going out to clients, people are starting to, coming through to us and saying, is that deal there still? Can we get more information on it? And then, it's a case that people sign up to our agreement, they get in place, and then they put money down. So then we can seriously give them information and, get them working towards, securing a deal and getting the deal done.
Yeah. Okay.
But yes, so the answer to the question, yes. Any sort of deal that makes it a deal, not want to just go through a real estate agent and they just send out something to us and just say, okay, well, this is on the market at the moment. It's got to be a deal. Like, our clients are looking to come in to get a deal. They're not going to come through to us and not pay us a fee if they're not going to. They can just go to realestate.com and find something themselves.
Absolutely.
We've got to get something off market or on the market that's a discounted price, and the reasons, find out the reasons behind that as well. Are they motivated sellers? Do they need to move quickly? And some of those quick ones are brilliant, right? Then we can negotiate hard on those deals and get super deals for clients.
So let's go back to the whole off market, on market. Why is it such a sought after thing to get off market property?
Because I think there's, sometimes the price may not be the biggest thing. It might be the control of the deal. So if you can control the deal, then you can then negotiate further on the property. So I think that's where it comes into play a little bit more, is about controlling that deal, getting a name on a contract, and then, seeing what else you can do with terms or conditions, or, once the custom building has been done and there's things that do come up on a property, then you can negotiate further when you've got control. So, and then obviously with control comes less competition. So that's what we want as property buyers agents, as investors, and people want as developers as well, right?
Yeah. All right. So I guess it allows people more, and most of the properties we've bought are off market. But I get asked that question often, like, can we find the deals on market on realestate.com? Because that's the first point of call everyone goes to. Realestate.com,
sure. I guess in terms
they
of
spend hours.
Some of the deals that we do get are on realestate.com, and we do find them through there. Often there's a situation that they stay on the market a long time. So you might want to, as developers, you might want to kind of note that. Sometimes in the development space, I probably find that people aren't as motivated to sell some of those if they're on realestate.com for 200 days or 3 years or whatever. Like they're happy to land bank. If they get the top rate, then they're happy to take that. But mostly they, if they're on realestate.com, they're probably not going to be as motivated to get things done unless you're probably going to find that the relationship goes then back to the real estate agent who has the gold piece for you to make a deal done that's very attractive. Yeah.
I'm going to ask if anyone's got any questions. Can you see comments on your page?
Just on my page, I just see people coming through. Reese, Nigel, Kyle, Karen's also joined. Graham, Shay, g'day to everyone. Hopefully you're having a great night wherever you are.
Hello. If anyone's got questions, I'm just waving.
I'm just trying to keep up with Davina. She's just cranking out the Facebook Lives. Actually, since she's been back home, she's not doing too many anymore, is she? Only when she's traveling.
Davina, when she's when she's got all that fresh air and all that time. Now she's back to the real world.
Adam
I'm
says,
waiting.
I have to define the difference to the spotter between a lead versus a deal. I don't pay a spotter for leads, only when the lead becomes a deal. Yeah, so yeah, that's good clarification that we should have done. Yeah, spotter's fee is on a completed sale, basically. So you can provide all the deals and the information to us. We're going to treat it with confidentially for people. It's not that we're going to spread knowledge now. We might put some marketing around this, but we're going to keep that information as confidential as possible, that the market is not going to know where we can do in this deal. So it might be the general area, it might be an approximate price, it might be some configuration around how the development is going to work, but not give the fine details on an address or anything like that. So rest assured, in terms of what we're doing, and you're only going to know by trying us out as well, and us trying you out, if this is going to work. So I think in any type of business and any type of investing options that you're looking to use, you've got to test out team members, you've got to test out other experts, and test out if joint ventures are going to work, or obviously the spotter's fee and buyer's agent and client relationships all going to work together. So yes, could be a risk, but such is life, right? We all take risk in every area.
Yeah, and if you really, want to protect your behind, put together a non-disclosure statement, or whichever. I don't know how much the sort of pieces of paper really sort of have much weight, but just to give yourself some kind of.
Yeah, but it's not only that, Cheryl. Like I'm on Facebook. It's easy for I'm on Facebook every day. It's easy for people to rat me out straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, yeah, like I think on Facebook, me getting ratted out straight away is going to be a lot more than an NDA, signing an NDA. So
yes.
For us, it's we're very transparent in what we do, where we're providing information on deals that we've got out, whether they're past deals, whether they're current deals, or future things that we're looking at as well. So if we can help each other in this journey, and looking to help some of these newbies that are coming through to actually get some deals done, get some confidence up, and then think about the abundance side of things for you, and then for everyone else trying to do deals.
Yeah. So for our spotters out there that are keen to work with Luke and Mark, where are you guys looking? Like, what is it? Is it just Queensland, or is this is across Australia? Deals across Australia.
Yeah. So we're probably going to be focused on Sydney and Brisbane firstly. It's probably licensing requirements and something that we do need to expand. So being quite transparent in that, because it's not something we've put the foray out, but if there's a deal done, needs to get done in Victoria, and I need to get and register a license for, I'll get it done. And then most of the time it's just I don't know, I haven't explored that too much myself, but when I get the license for Queensland, it was just a mutual fee that I had to pay just to upgrade to get Queensland, because I already had my New South Wales license. So I don't think that's going to be a hell of a lot, but I'm willing to explore those, because there are going to be development deals in Victoria as well that we need to look at. So we'll definitely explore that. But I guess firstly, Sydney and Brisbane will be the big ones for us. If they're going to be in some of those, Gold Coast or Sunshine Coast, could be plausible. Going out to some of those other areas or regional areas could be a little bit tougher, because you got to think that the buyers probably want closer, and these high price buyers are probably want something closer, more safe, secure in their minds as buyers, than something that's a bit more risky. So we know, even as property buyers agents, there's some people that won't touch Brisbane because they live in Sydney or they live in Melbourne, and then it's like, I only buy where it's close to where I live. So you're going to just give me deals in Brisbane all the time, we're not going to use you. And I was like, okay, fair enough. So we're looking to expand, and this is maybe a way that we can really bring out some deals. So people might have a commercial property deal that comes up that, we can do some due diligence around that. It might be a residential property that comes up. Might be industrial, might be anything that you've got that comes up and you know of someone who's got a really good deal. Let's get the deal done.
Get the deal done. All righty. So we've got spotters, bird dogs out there. Reach out to Luke.
Yes.
Or your friendly local buyer's agent, but preferably Luke.
Yeah. And look, abundance, right? So
yeah,
get it out to there. Other buyer's agents might have clients for those deals. We're actually right now dealing with, it's probably about 3, 4, 5 other buyer's agents where we're doing joint deals. So, our fee is cut down when we're working with other people. But at the same thing, it's about us doing deals that are going to create wealth. What are we trying to do in this business? We're trying to create wealth for other people, right? In what we're doing. Obviously, us ourselves first, but the whole thing about it, which I talked on my Facebook Live about earlier, was about the more deals we can do, it's economies of scale, the more people we can get in. Yes, short term, we're getting a little bit of a fee, but all that, what we do is going to create some more awareness. We reach more people, and then we get more deals done because they know where do you go to get deals? Oh, you got to go to Search Party Property. That's where all the deals get done. So that might just bring us even more abundance in future. And that's what that's our thesis in what we're doing and our value. And I don't know, there's another term for it. I just don't know, but I'm on a train right now and the train ain't stopping.
That's awesome. Awesome. I think that's a great topic, particularly when we're in a property development page and a lot of people have the mindset that that's the first thing that they need to do is to get into a deal, and that's not necessarily the case. We can start with baby steps, and these are good baby steps.
They're
really good. You can practice, you can expand your knowledge, really grow that experience and your network by becoming a bird dog.
Bird dog. Just remind everyone what a bird dog is while you're actually, there might be people coming on late. So
going, what is this? Is this a new yoga move?
Yes.
Yes. Bird dogs derived, who came up with the definition? Came up from, I have a little person here that's come to visit me.
Hello, little person.
Hello, little person. Hello, little person. Bird dogs. So they're little hunters. They're dogs, right? The pointer dogs that were sent out to hunt for birds. I'm thinking ducks or whatever it might be.
Yeah, that's what Adam has said. So, he's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to property, and he's the hunter. And actually spend a bit of time with him, just so you know, guys, in LA, Australian guy, spends most of his time in LA, and he does a little bit of property flipping over there. So it was really interesting to see that market and what happens, and thinking about abundance and thinking about how you can do deals around the world. Well, that's something that I'm constantly always interested. So while on holidays in LA, I'm doing property tours. Gotta love it, don't you? That's
cool. That's when you're a real property nerd, right?
Property psycho. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I love it. That's why we're here. That's why we've just spent a good old hour talking about property, how we can make profit out of deals that we're not doing ourselves, but for someone else. And I think that's really good in terms of sharing the love of profitability in deals across to other people as well. And I always like to think that karma in some way we're going to get, you'll get something back down the line.
Just give.
Then ask. Excellent. I love it. Anyone have any sort of questions? I'm just looking over. My little kids have to head off to bed.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important. So Adam says yes, the ducks as well. Maybe to just clarify that earlier, we were just saying about developers seeking out deals from buyer's agent. Just to wrap up, it's just a quick comment. But often what you'll find that it's going to be a tough one for developers to go to buyer's agents to find some deals out in the marketplace that are profitable. Obviously, if we're finding deals, there's a fee that we charge as well. So it's often harder to find deals through a buyer's agent. Just to give everyone an idea, look, we're looking for deals ourselves as well in the marketplace to be transparent with everyone, like everyone else. And if we can find deals that suit a buyer, then we'll put it out to our marketplace as well. So keep that in mind. But I think the big one for developers, if you can get the training wheels on, you can get some of those deals and throw them through to us with some really quality information, then maybe we can get the deal done. You get a bit of confidence, then you can just start cranking it up and go to the next level.
You need to get yourself your
rock star developer.
You need your bird dog template.
That's right.
Yeah.
So maybe we're going to need to talk about this more. This is what happens in Facebook Live, Cheryl. Ideas come about. We, interact like this. I start to come up with an idea. You go over the top with another idea. Then we go, okay, Cheryl, can you write this all up?
Do it.
Make this happen for all.
So how have you outsourced that to me so conveniently?
Because you're brilliant. You're brilliant.
I love it. You're
absolutely brilliant.
Just throw out the compliments and hope it sticks, and I'll just take it. Yeah, that's fine.
No, I really mean that deep down. Like we've done a few Facebook Lives already, and obviously met up as well, and just bumped into each other at times as well. And
random property things.
It's really good, and I love working with great people like yourself.
Oh, thank you. Same here. I love the community. Thank you everyone for taking time out on your busy Tuesday evening.
They're not busy.
I love it.
They're here for us.
Busy. They're here. They've blocked out. They've blocked out the whole evening for the business of property, that's what it's all about. All right. So how many days into 366 hours?
Day 49 today. I don't think I've actually posted that run this morning that I did at 4:30.
So that means it didn't happen.
No, it did happen. Did bloody happen.
You haven't posted
especially
it.
At 4:30 in the morning, it did happen. So I ran 31 minutes and 30 seconds for the 7K this morning. I know you're doing a great job yourself on training every day and training with the kids.
Yes.
And the hubby, that's all happening. There's a lot
it's just part of the lifestyle. I just do it because first of all, it's a stress relief. It's just the routine. You get into the swing of things and it feels good. So I encourage anyone to move daily as much as you can.
Move. You don't have to run. You don't have to run 7Ks either. You can do a K at least. Just start with that. Adam says, thoroughly enjoyed listening to you both while working. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
He's busy. He's busy.
Yeah, he's doing deals. The guy does deals. And
is he in America at the moment?
No,
is that where he's tuning in for? Okay.
He's in Australia. We're going to meet up next week. But
nice.
He's a wealth of knowledge. Worked in Australia, done a lot of deals in Australia. He's over in the US doing deals over there. And good negotiator.
Yeah,
one of the best I've seen, actually. So really good. And listen to him on phone calls and with people in face-to-face as well. So big shout out to Adam, doing amazing stuff.
Well, maybe we need to reach out to Adam to do a Facebook Live on business of property. How to negotiate like a star.
Yeah, could be one. So we'll see how we go.
All right, make it happen, Luke.
Look at you trying to bring people in. Like you did the other night when we were at that seminar, didn't you, Cheryl?
What did I do?
When we were talking to Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Rope him in.
Yeah, we're gonna do.
Yeah. I've got his card. Any opportunity, I'm like, you want to come onto a Facebook Live? Yeah. They're like, what is it?
So I'll have that template on my desk by Monday morning. Great. Thanks.
All right. Thanks. Good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Au revoir.
Thanks,
Ciao.
everyone.
Thanks, Luke. Ciao. Have a good night.
Bye.